Good afternoon and welcome to our Cyberpunk game, Cyberpunk Gangwar. We'll be using for this particular game the Cyberpunk Slice and the Modern Age rules by Green Ronin Games. I'm Brian F. Irving. I will be your games master and host. I'm from Gethsemane Games and DH9 Radio. And for a change, we're actually um, playing the game with me sat in the Studio One up at DH9 Radio. So let's see how this goes. A little background. Actually, no, I'll introduce the cast first, then I'll do the background. That seems better. So, beginning with them as they appear on my screen. Tom.
Hello, I'm Tom.
And you are playing?
I'm playing Caden, the courier who's very good at getting one thing from one place to another, and as we learnt last session, is also very good at electrocuting people in the
Right. Seems as good a description as any. Next up, we have Ben.
Hello, I'm Ben. I am playing as Mr. Sterling, and I'm a race car driver from Brum.
Indeed, and Patrick.
I'm Patrick, and I'm playing Baba, a delightfully uncomplicated individual.
That's one way of describing them. And Louise.
Hello, I'm Louise. I'm playing Jet Domino, and I am a medtech, not a miracle worker.
And a player that wasn't able to make the previous adventure but is with us today, that's Jenny.
Yes, hello, I'm Jenny. I play Wraith, who is a hacker type.
Excellent. The rules, as I mentioned, are the Modern Age system with the Cyberpunk Slice, both by Green Ronin. Music is by Tabletop Audio. Maps are by Gethsemane Games. And I am Brian F. Irving. I'll be your games master. In the late in the late 2050s, corporations have grown more powerful than governments, spanning national and international boundaries. Big corporations have become a law unto themselves. Ever since the state corporate wars of the mid-2030s and the OGL wars of the late 2020s, in this dystopian nightmare, people have become disposable. Workers are even more powerless than before, and the streets belong to booster gangs and street runners. The internet is a powerful battleground, not just for the culture wars, but where corporations, runners and hackers fight for control of information and misinformation. Our story begins in London, England. No longer the great power it once was, no longer a member of the EU, and since the secession of the independent Republic of Scotland, no longer part of a truly united kingdom. England is at the mercy of the corporations in all but name. Our players, their characters, are members of a gang in London, a criminal gang run by a shady individual who refers to himself as Don. Although whether that's actually his name or whether that's a pretension, nobody's entirely certain. Don also describes himself as a businessman, but only in the very loosest of senses can that be said to be true. We begin with the party once again having been called to see Don at one of his several offices. You arrive, he's currently in the one of his basement offices hidden away in a relatively safe area. And just as the last time you met him, stood behind him and off to the left is Baba, one of his, let's say guards, shall we?
Guards!
The rest of you file in, and Don was kind of sat glancing at one to the other. Almost, you've never quite seen Don like this. He's almost kind of stuck for an explanation of what he wants you to do. Normally he's quite a decisive chap, but today he seems to be a little bit less so.
How do you do, boss man?
Hello. Sit.
I'll sit down.
we sit.
Right.
Yeah.
Got another job for you. Have to say, the last one you did, don't get me wrong, the problem seems to have gone away. Could have been a little bit more subtly handled than it was, to be frank. Hence
Nice to
this
meet you,
one,
Frank.
I'm going to need you to be a bit more subtle for this one. Now, this is an unusual job, but I'm sure you're up to the task. Funnily enough, his facial expression suggests a bit less surety than his words would imply. Right, some of you might know the Kellys, bunch of uppity Australians who've got certain business interests. You can almost feel the air quotes in and around London. Now, sometimes their business interests and my business interests clash a little bit. Currently, they have something of mine, or rather something I would like to be mine. And they've been very, very, what's the term I'm looking for? Uncooperative about giving it to me. Problem is, I don't actually know where they're keeping it. And we're having a bit of trouble finding that out. Now, I can keep working on that and get guys to try and find out where it is and then send some people much like yourselves to go get it. Or we can shortcut the whole thing by taking something else that they desperately want back and trading them for it. So that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
That's where you come in. So, I'm going to need you to break in somewhere for me and steal something. Think you're up to that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent. I'm really pleased to hear it. Now this is where it gets a little bit, let's say, unusual. There's a bit of a time limit on this one. You see, the dog in question is only going to be at the vet's for about 3
Sorry,
days.
what?
What?
Yes, perhaps I should have started at the start.
But
Well, what it is, you see, Brent and Annika Kelly are dog people. And currently their favourite mastiff is recovering at the local veterinary hospital after an operation. Thing is, it won't be there for long. 3 nights and then it'll be checked out. Assuming everything goes okay and it's recovering properly. But what I need you to do is sometime over the next 3 nights, before that dog gets checked out and handed back to the Kellys, is I need you to break into the veterinary hospital and kidnap the dog.
Right.
Are you not worried about any kind of bad blood this is going to stir? Stealing their favourite dog?
Oh, it'll cause some bad blood, but that's okay because there already is bad blood. Now, the one
Fair
thing I do need to make sure is that bad blood can't be escalated too much. So you need to make sure nothing happens to the dog.
We're not monsters.
Other than the kidnapping bit. But I need you to make sure it's not harmed in any way. Now, ideally, I would like the police not to be investigating this too seriously. Dog napping's the sort of thing that the Met are probably not going to take that seriously. But if any of the veterinary staff get injured, that might make things a little different. So ideally, I need you in and out, undetected, with the dog.
A stealth mission, then.
A stealth mission, exactly. Now then, I thought to myself when I was putting this plan together, I thought, I have the perfect people for this mission. But since they weren't available, I'm left with you idiots.
See that one coming.
Do you think you're going to be up to this? Bearing in mind I will be very, very upset if the dog gets hurt.
I mean, I'm pretty confident I'm up for it.
Yeah, we're good at getting. Well, I'm good at getting things from one place to another. We got super speedy over here. It's just a matter of timing. We gotta get the timing right.
You haven't.
I like dogs.
Excellent. Well, there we go. Baba likes dogs.
Yeah.
So what I was just something that comes to mind with this is we have to get the, obviously, as I said, with the timing, make sure the dog can potentially walk. I hope.
Do we know what's wrong with the dog? Why it's being taken to the vet?
It suffered an injury and has had an operation. Hopefully, it should be recovering nicely from the operation. It's had chest drains and what have you done. It should be recovering. It should be about ready to come out. They want to keep it for another 3 days, as I understand. It may be best to assume 2, just to be on the safe side.
We're going to need to keep the dog quiet if it's awake, so...
We could just sedate it.
If you do that, you're going to have to be careful not to overdo the sedation.
Good thing we have a medical professional.
I'm not vet.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to manage anyway. Look, I've got another meeting with some other people, so if you wouldn't mind fucking off, that would be grand.
We'll have this dog on your desk by Monday.
Excellent.
Wait a second, though. What's the security like at this vet?
Fucking off. Barbara starts to walk out.
He shrugs and he says, "It's a vet. How secure can it be?"
AMS
Might be
last words.
surprised.
Well, do you know what? That very much sounds like a you problem. So, and he kind of
This is where the camera goes forward 3 days and we're being chased by the military.
Each of us carrying a different dog.
In this universe, though, how rare are like real animals?
Not that rare. They're still fairly
Like a
common,
bird situation.
especially in the what used to be the UK, especially in England, Scotland, and Wales. That's always been very sort of pet oriented. However, Don will admit that the dog in question is an award-winning show dog.
Okay.
Now, award-winning show dogs are justifiably quite rare. And as mentioned, the Kellys are big dog people. So they're probably...
The werewolves.
Yeah, not that kind of big dog people. They're probably going to get, quite upset at the idea of their dog being anywhere that isn't terribly secure, isn't going to be able to look out after it. So you suspect that Don's sort of, well, it's a vet, how secure can it be? It's probably... The answer to that is probably a lot more secure than Don imagines.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot more secure than this operation.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Okay, so do we have... can we maybe look up some kind of like blueprints of the vets, if they're publicly available still, and stuff like that, opening hours and all that stuff?
Yeah, you can. You can. Opening hours are absolutely easy. You just log onto the internet, check the vets, and up it comes with its opening hours and whatnot. Now, it would seem, according to the website, that the veterinary hospital in question is open from about 8 in the morning, usually through till about 8:30 at night. After that, it's emergencies only, but it does mention that the veterinary hospital also has kenneling and a cattery, and that it is staffed 24 hours a day in order for veterinary nurses to be on site to look after the cats and dogs kennelled in the...
That makes sense.
Yeah. We're going to have to be really stealthy because we don't want to set off a load of dogs.
You know what I think we should do? I think we should pretend to put all... I think we should get like a stray and take it to the vet and pretend to be its owner, and then we'll have a reason for being there and all that stuff.
That's not a terrible plan.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be difficult to book in. I mean, you need to get a hold of a pet, but it shouldn't be difficult to book in to take your pet to the vets. That's something you can do without any difficulty. Now, you also mentioned trying to get the blueprints for the building. I think you said.
I feel like, I mean, I don't know if this is the case, but aren't blueprints like publicly available for like a lot of not high security buildings?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's harder to get a hold of them now by this point than it is in the real world at this time, but they will definitely be logged somewhere. So in order for you to get a hold of them, let me just check. Recognizing the target building. Okay, so yes, to get a layout of the building, I'm going to need somebody to do a data search for that. So that would be intelligence code finding will do the trick, or intelligence research, or is it intelligence or perception? It's intelligence research. Either of those will do the trick. If you succeed, I will give you. Sorry?
I've got perception code finding.
Yes, I'll allow you to do it under a perception code finding. We'll assume that you're kind of in the official records of buildings and architecture for the city. I'm going to say this is
Off to
a
a good
fairly
start.
easy job, so we're going to call it average with a target number of 11. I'm just going to flick back onto the chat so I can see what you just rolled. 18 with 6 stun points. Absolutely you can. So I'm going to pop up the plans of the veterinary hospital for you there. Now you
If I
should.
may, I do think it's important. Oh, I mean, even the well, I think the fact that you've already got it makes this even more relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But Barbar's going to try as well.
Okay.
Did you say
Jesus.
Did you say intelligence?
Yes.
Basically lose the map.
So Baba has no idea how to
Oh.
find this this sort of information out.
But does he
Fortunately,
believe that he does?
it's difficult for everyone else to tell. You appear to have been playing Pac-Man for the last 20 minutes.
Question.
Yep.
So this decoy pet idea. Is there anybody in the building that I live in has been putting off taking their pets to go and get spayed and been yowling all night or anything like that I could do a favour to and just like take their pet to get spayed?
Yes, Mrs. Swift has a dog that hasn't been spayed.
Excellent. I will offer to take Mrs. Swift's dog to the vet and then actually get it spayed as well.
Well, that's very nice of you, dearie, but you know, I don't know that it's necessary. She never goes outside except with me.
You never know what's lurking in those bushes, or a male dog could just jump out and impregnate your dog. And then you've got a whole litter running around your house.
You can give me a persuasion test. That is
Fantastic.
Jet can give me a persuasion test. I'm
Damn it.
assuming Jet didn't take you with them to
What would that be under communication?
communication.
I'm actually really good at communication. You should go.
I'm not terrible at it.
13. Although it might be a good idea because I do hear they live longer if you have them spayed.
Oh yeah.
Well, but I mean, I'm not sure I can afford it. I can afford it on my pension.
Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. I'll sort it.
Oh no, I couldn't expect you to pay for it.
I don't mind. I just think of it as a favour.
Well, I suppose.
I don't
if
expect
it's-
anything back.
well, okay.
Although
But
you do me that really nice cake.
I was just about to say I'll make you a cake in exchange.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Yes, well, I will do that. Then that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. And with that, you managed to get it to agree to take the dog to the vets. All you have to do is book it in now, really. Yeah, so it doesn't take long to book an appointment with the vets. It's a space, so I'm going to say they have an appointment tomorrow morning or the day after. In the afternoon.
Tomorrow morning.
We will take the tomorrow morning, yes?
Right, you are.
Would I be able to go with Jet so that I could scope out perhaps more of what the security is in this place?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Where the cameras are, where, we might run into some issues, things of that nature.
Would I also be able to join in? Because I think Caden's pretty good at like climbing up places to get a bit more of an aerial view and see if the roof can be a possible option for going in.
I want to come along as well, just for the fun of it.
Jesus Christ, how many people are you?
We're all going to the vet.
We all love it. Very, very much.
This dog
Is
turns
there like
up with an entire retinue in.
Abba doesn't want to go to the vet. It's where he gets his nails cut.
Okay. Sorry, I've just realised I probably shouldn't have eaten the biscuit just as I was about there. Anyway, you should see a copy of the veterinary hospital plans popped up in front of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very large.
I was going to say as well, I did get 6 stunt points.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I could use that for?
There might be.
Like, is it like investigation stunts
Yeah.
or something?
Use any of the investigation stunts,
Okay.
which should be.
Um,
Have you found them, or do you need me to pop them up for you?
no, I've got them. Just having a look. If anybody has any suggestions, then that would be cool.
So you got 6. Damn.
Yeah. You lead.
You could do down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Brand new lead about the subject that will provide greater rewards.
I don't know what it would be, but
Okay. Yes, if you want to use that one, I've got something in mind.
then you'd have 2 left as well.
Yeah, also maybe intuition. The GM reveals a fact about the object of your test you could not have noticed or deduced simply by interacting with it or looking at it, I guess.
Okay. So I'm going to start with down the rabbit hole. Whilst you're searching for the information about the veterinary hospital, you learn that it recently had an application for a new security system installed.
Okay.
The security system, you are pleased to see, is not actually top flight by any stretch of the imagination. It is, however, wireless, so they were checking that there was bands available in the area, because by this point in the 21st century, there's a lot of wireless stuff flying around in London. There are certain restrictions now. So what it appears is that they have a... sorry, no, it's not wireless. My mistake. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry, no, it's not wireless. It's hardwired.
Okay.
So it is. It's not that you've found permissions for it. It's that you've found reference to work that was booked to have it installed.
Right. Okay.
So it's actually air gapped, which means you can't connect to the cameras externally. The cameras are only connected to the computer system, the intranet inside the building. However, you notice that the same building also is connected to the internet, and you have a suspicion that you might be able to use their standard computer system to link to their air-gapped internal computer system, because you happen to know that DDR drives produce a low frequency thing that can be picked up on close range, and if you can insert the right code, you can get it to. It's difficult to explain this without actually showing you the because what I'm telling you here is actually genuine hacker stuff. That you can hack an air-gapped computer if you can pick up the frequency of its DDR RAM drive. And you think you're going to be able to because you think if you can hack the standard computer in there, you will be able to pick up the intranet, which in turn will have the cameras on it. So you think you have a sort of difficult but doable backdoor to get into the cameras.
Jenny. So that could be a thing like me and you could do because my character is got a lot of communication stuff, like especially like deception and stuff. So we could go in posing as that security team. I could get us through the door, and then you could do all the hacky stuff.
Yeah, because as long as I could get on one of their actual computers, then yeah. Ooh, okay. Do we know, we know the name of the security company that installed the systems?
Well, because of your intuition, which reveals two more pieces of information, two more leads, I'm going to say that yes, you do. Safeguard International Security Systems.
All right, got it then. So if
and the second piece of information you get from the intuition is you are able to track down that company, and you find what their ID badges look like.
Okay, that's good.
They're actually a real company as well.
Unfortunately, there you go. Unfortunately, their ID badges do have a QR code on that people can just snip to check that you are who you say you are.
Well, maybe this is where Sterling's deception and whatnot might come into play.
Possibly.
So what do you think? Some of us can take the dog in, maybe, whilst...
He's got a name.
Oh,
The dog.
The dog.
The dog.
What are they called?
Little Princess Floof.
Princess Floof.
Yeah.
And then it's just this absolute tank of a dog.
Oh no, it's a Pomeranian, so it's a...
We're trying to disable the cameras.
Yes.
Do they have a generator within the building?
Yes, they do actually. They have an emergency generator.
Okay.
It is...
Can we tell from the plan where it is?
You can. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I have a second copy of the plan, which is done as a page, because I am that well organised. So I am going to take you all over to that, so that you can actually draw on it and I can ping it and whatnot. So if you look top left, I am frantically pinging the room with a generator in it.
It's still rendering.
Okay.
I can see you ping though.
I'm just kind of chomping at the bit here, wanting to get involved with the planning things, but I don't feel that my character has the intelligence to come up with the stuff that I'm going to suggest. So if I'm overstepping the mark, please do tell me.
Well, bear in mind your character's intelligence is -1, and remember that in the age system, the human baseline is 0. So actually, although you're pretty dumb, you're not like bag of hammers dumb. Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, you'd be able to come up with.
Yeah, you are below average intelligence, but you're not. You're not to the point where you wouldn't be able to come up with any ideas. Your ideas might be flawed, and it might be one of those I don't know if this is a dumb idea or not type situations. You know what I mean? But yes, according to the plans, in their mechanical room, they have an emergency generator.
Okay. So if we were to cut the power, they'd still have power.
Yes.
Okay. Late at night, they're more likely to be a skeleton crew, yeah?
Yes.
What happens if we trigger the fire alarms? There will be a procedure to get all of the staff and any customers out of the place. So if
And
somebody
pets.
is, and all of the pets.
Yeah.
Okay, that would make the pet easier to get hold of. Do we know what it looks like?
It would make the pet easier to get hold of, but it would make being spotted doing it absolutely nailed on. So
Yeah.
you'd have to bear that in mind.
They'll have to like bring them out in multiple goes, I would think.
Depends
if
how
they can't
many.
walk
Depends how
themselves.
many are in there, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out today, though, won't we? Hopefully.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it's always good to have backups as well. Backup
That's
plans
true.
if things don't go wrong. Like,
If
if
in
things
doubt.
don't go right, should I say? Already?
Very pessimistic.
It
of you,
was
Anthony.
rather, wasn't it?
Um,
Just in case things don't go wrong.
I've played too many games.
Can we tell from this plan that this is in fact a window that can be opened? Or is that just a matter of the mechanics of the way the map is?
I didn't see what you pinged. If you could just ping again.
Right hand side.
That is a window. Why exactly that window's on that layer, I'm not quite sure, because it should be. It shouldn't be on that layer. You shouldn't be able
There's
to
also
see
a
that. But
door
yes,
in the kennels as well.
but yes, all the blue lines are windows. There are doors, fire doors here, 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 and the main entrance. So
If we could... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, if we could... Because the fire domes will be alarmed, but if you could stop that alarm, you could just nick the dog and just run off. Straight out the fire door.
Like I say, the main problem is if you set the alarms off, you are definitely going to attract attention.
No, which is
You'll
why I'm saying if you can
definitely
cut the
be
alarm
seen.
off so it doesn't go off.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Hang on. If we're talking that way, main doors, yeah?
The main doors are the big double doors over this way.
Customer toilets.
Mm-hmm.
And generator room over here.
Yeah.
So, simultaneous strike, take out the generator, possibly
Take out the
just
toilets first.
just like unplug that from the system and unwire it from the system, and then cut the outside power line.
Does anyone hear electrician?
Baba raises his hand.
One thing I'll say as well is when approaching the kennels, those dogs are going to make a lot of noise.
Unless they're good boys.
Which they will.
Has anybody got a very handy pocket-sized steak?
Well, does anybody have like animal handling or anything? Because I can put in a focus for that. Because I've got a focus program, so if we needed something like that, I could swap
I
one
don't
in.
have animal handling, but the background's nomad, so potentially
Mm.
with a little bit of there, and I've got improvisation as a talent, which lets me do a little bit of everything, so I can make an ability check
Mhm.
that requires specific focus, even if I ain't got that focus.
Because if there's going to be quite a few animals in there, I'm imagining there'll be at least a couple, so we would need at least a couple people to be able to calm the dogs.
Can the kennels be remotely opened?
You have no idea.
Looking to Wraith.
Yeah, that's something I could try and look at. And also,
Open
on the
door, main
map,
door.
have I been able to see where like the security cameras are, or is that something I would need to do separately?
No, you know where the security cameras are. They appear to be external.
Okay.
So the security cameras seem to cover the outside, so it's getting into the building that would be the risk. Once inside, it's actually not that many cameras inside.
But there are some.
One in the kennel, one in the cattery.
Okay.
I've got a question. What is this room?
That
Don't know if you
room?
see my ping. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's an office that isn't connected to the other offices, and
It's actually not an office. It does have like an office
It's like a surgery.
bit in the corner. It's according to the plans. It's the I've forgotten the term for it.
Examination room.
No, it's not an examination room. The examination room is this room next to it.
Okay.
It's where they do like fur cutting and nail trimming.
Grooming room.
Grooming
Right.
room. Thank you. Yes, it is the groomery. The grooming room.
Can I look up then if the kennels can be remotely opened?
Yeah, you're going to have to actually hack into their system to do that. So hacking into their system, it is doable from where you are. It is conceivable. However, the easiest way to hack a place is to actually be physically at one of the internal terminals and then open a back door so that you can get in whenever you want to, or to know somebody's passwords. So the question is, do you want to try a very difficult remote hack, or you did say something about a plan to go in and actually have a look at their computers? Do you want to leave it till you've done that? Choice is yours. The target is a
Try a
little
bit
bit
of-
different.
I think I might also be able to give you something to potentially help if you need a device nearby, like some kind of relay or something. I'm a courier. I can
Okay.
deliver.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Another
Okay.
idea, potentially, Jenny could set up a fake email account like that, because a lot of companies will have their own like domain instead of at Gmail, it'll be at like at Apple or at Google or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So if Jenny could set up a fake email and everything that makes it look legit, and then you could socially engineer someone, like pretend to be like like the company's IT staff from corporate. Hey, we need to reset your password. Could you mind like confirming it with us or whatever? A lot of hacks and a lot of breaches in the real world are done through social engineering.
Yes. It is
The
true.
weakest part of any security system is the person.
Yeah, it is true. The most common way to hack something is to just ask somebody for the password.
Yeah.
And, but obviously, using some form of code. I mean, think about the amount of phishing attacks you suffer yourself in your email. I mean, I get at
Dozens.
least one a day. Somebody
Yeah.
sends me like, "Oh, we are the post office and want to deliver this parcel to you. If you could just click here and fill out these details." And, oh, you're the post office, are you? Because the email address you've given us is at thievingBastard@wanker.com. Which is how
why I
I
was
invariably
hoping-
spot them. They tend to be quite clumsy.
Yeah.
Which is why I was hoping Jenny could set us up a nice legitimate one.
Legitimate, yeah.
I mean, you could set up something that looks fairly legitimate. You've got you've got 3 days in total. So you could probably set something up fairly quickly. Those QR codes I mentioned, you could actually set something up so that when they scan your QR code, it goes to something that looks like the official page.
Yep.
And
I like the idea of dressing up as the security people going in.
yeah,
Yeah.
Building on the security thing as well, I'm guessing that's the cleaners thing, so that's a second option for us
you
as
are
well.
entirely correct. It is, yes.
Yes.
Because nobody checks the cleaners or the people
Very
walking
true.
and carrying a ladder.
Yeah.
We're gonna take them to the cleaners, aye? That was a British accent. I don't know what I was thinking there.
No, I don't either, really.
Yeah, so I think there's a few options for different groups of us to actually get into the building.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the best way to do a hack is to combine like off-site electronic stuff with actually having been into their computer and left, a back door for yourself. So your plan about going in could work quite nicely. But as I say, setting up something so that when they scan your QR code, it actually does look like the company's genuine QR code is something you could do in preparation if you wanted to.
Yeah.
What about a keylogger? Put it on a USB drive, insert it into one of their main systems, log in, and it sends whatever they type. Then you get their password. Discreet.
Yeah.
Could do. I mean, I could just, as long as I could get to a computer.
Which we would be able to if we disguise ourselves as security members.
Yeah, I mean, that was your original plan, was to go in as if you were members of the security company that installed it, coming in to do something.
And then that would turn off the external cameras, which would mean it'd be easier for everybody else to get in. Might be able to turn off alarms and things.
I don't actually know. I don't actually know how alarm systems work. I don't know if I imagine they're on their own separate thing, but I don't know if they have any fail-safes.
Well, again, the alarm system will be on the air-gapped system for the thing, but as I mentioned, air-gapping isn't actually as... I mean, the Israelis right now can breach air-gapped computer systems and have written textbooks on how to do it.
That's nice of them. Just read one of those.
Well,
there's your homework, Ray.
That's how I know it's a lot to do with it, because your DDR RAM broadcasts in a very, very narrow range, and that's how they do it.
By the way, what does animal handling come under? Sorry for my voice, by the way.
Communication.
Right, who's got good communication then? Because you could help with getting the actual dogs calmed.
My communication is 3, and I've got deception, bargaining, and persuasion. I know none of those are helpful, but I'm just putting out what I have.
My communication's also 3.
Alright, okay. Pretty decent.
I've got a good bedside manner.
Yeah. You could take, like, dog treats and shit.
Okay. So, start putting together a sort of finalised version of the plan. Remember, it doesn't have to be 100% detailed, because you can always do a flashback. Now, I'm going to tell you about the flashbacks, right? Flashbacks are where, once you start the mission, instead of us spending like 3 entire sessions planning it, then you start playing and nothing goes according to the plan because you forgot what it was.
It won't go to plan.
You can do a flashback system, which is where we start to play the mission, and when you hit something that you think logically my characters would probably have thought of this as a possible obstacle, you can spend a what do you call it? Oh God, I always forget the name of these points. Conviction point. You can spend a conviction point to have a flashback and tell me how it was you set things up in order to deal with that particular
Did you get that idea from that game Chris ran?
Blades in the Dark. It is used in Blades in the Dark, but it's actually suggested in it's either the Modern Age Companion or the Modern Age Mastering the Game book. I just forget which.
Right. Okay.
Oh no, actually, it's not. It's mentioned in the Age. There's a little document called the heist. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It was about doing heists, and it's suggested in there.
Okay.
So you would still give me like the basic outlines of the plan, but you wouldn't need to go in like zoom into 100%. Sticking to that type of thing. You could once the run starts, you can go, well, we'll have thought of that. So when we were in doing the thing, could I have also done this? Spend a conviction point, and I'll tell you how it went, sort of thing.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
So what I need from you is a rough outline, really, so that we've got somewhere to start the actual RP.
Well, I think we need to get our hands on some kind of uniform to blend in as security.
Is this happening at the same time as I'm in the front with Princess Fluffy?
It could be.
I think because it could be like a little bit of a distraction. I don't know.
Because then, if I can see you being very blatantly dancing around in the background, I can distract.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's actually a good idea. Aye.
yeah. And maybe like Baba or Caden could go in with you or something. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Depends
And
on.
then, and I can always drop stuff off if needed because I'm very good at also walking in, dropping off, going again.
Yeah.
So if you need any kind of relay device or I don't know EMP,
Ooh.
a relay device might be a good idea. Yeah.
and it could just be disguised as a regular package that is
Ah,
delivered to a vet.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Okay. So
That's the only one you're going to get out of me today.
so I'm breaking you down at the moment into 3 teams. So you can tell us if you want to create a 4th team or whatever.
Can we be Strike Force Alpha?
No.
Me and
So
Doug?
we have the courier team, which is going to be Tom's character, whose name I've temporarily forgotten. Caden, isn't it?
Caden, yep.
Caden. So he's going to go in dressed as a courier, which should be easy enough for Caden, who is actually
A courier.
A courier.
I'm just getting Fallout New Vegas flashbacks now.
Then there's going to be the dog team, which is the people that actually go in with Princess Fluffy. So that's Jet, and who else is going to be on the dog team? Nobody?
Someone wants to accompany me to the doctors.
Oh.
Wow. If they were thinking about it, now they're saying no.
Well, I mean, Baba hasn't. I'm not sure about all of his skills and stuff. So
Hit things.
Pet the dog, Baba.
Pet dog.
Okay, so
Yeah.
is Baba
Like that with the
going in
dog.
with the dog team, yeah?
yeah, I think it would be quite distracting if need be.
I would imagine so. Security
Yeah.
team, therefore, or the fake security team, therefore, is going to be Sterling and Wraith.
Yeah.
So
Why do they call you Wraith?
Well,
Don't.
look up the definition of rape.
yes. Okay, excellent. I think we have a starting point.
I've got also a little thing that I might be helpful. This one's probably for Rafe.
Okay.
Could we find out the name of a vet, either the head vet, which I imagine will be really easy to find, or a vet that isn't on shift?
Yeah, because the parcel could be for them, so they don't
And-
actually open it.
Yeah, and people don't open other people's parcels.
Yeah. Well, most people.
We
don't.
hope not.
Most people.
I reckon we could. That'd probably be fairly easy to find out, I'd imagine.
Yes.
On the website.
Yeah, it should be, but you need to find one for somebody who's not currently there at the moment, which might be a little bit trickier. So I'm going to say, give me a intelligence research test to see if you can track down somebody who isn't going to be in at the moment. I'm going to say that's an average target number of 11.
Can I say that I slotted research as one of my focuses?
Yes, you can.
Yay! Okay, hang on. I need to add that. I've got one slot left. Right, okay. Intelligence. And then I add another, it'll be +2, so not the best.
13, that's going to be enough though. So yes, you managed to find the name of one of the vets that you happen to know from having checked out the... Essentially what you do is you check the vet's website. You get a list of the vets and veterinary nurses from that. You then
Okay.
cross-reference that with the individual like Facebook profiles of various members of the vets, and you discover that one of the vets is away at a conference this week.
Okay.
So you think, well, if I deliver something with their name on it, that won't get opened till after the fact.
Yeah. All right. I'll pass that on to Caden then.
I can probably. I imagine I could spruce up a label and like use the actual company that I work for, which I'm gonna call. I'll call it not Hermes, but like it's spelled NOTT Hermes. Like there was a big like kind of delivery war in 2026 because the postal strikes went too far, and then DHL and Hermes or every fought.
Okay, yeah, I'm liking this.
Why did I say not Hermes?
Okay. Okay, so following on from the delivery wars of
Sorry,
earlier
I'm
in
so
the
sorry.
century, your company does have that name, which still kind of rubs it into the losing side, even now. So you set that up. I'm going to say that who's going to do the forged badges for the. I'm going to say you can get the uniforms for the security team easily enough. I'd imagine that one of Don's fixers can supply those for you.
Okay.
Suggestion with the badges: if they've got the QR codes, just scuff over the entire badge, make it look worn and old.
Yeah.
So that the QR code isn't readable anymore, and then say, "Oh yeah, I'll put in for a new one." Sorry.
I mean, you could do that, but you could also have Wraith just set up something so that it looks like when you scan it, it will return something, and
Yeah.
it will look official.
I do think it's a good
You can
idea
go
to
with
like
either
make
of those ideas.
forms in the card look like they've been used, though, so it's even more convincing. So yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I can do the QR code part of it, but can anybody do forging of ID card type things? What would that involve?
I doubt it.
It would. Let me just see now. I would say you can do that with a. Probably. Actually, I think a simple computers test is gonna do that.
All right. Okay.
But I'm not going to ask you to make it just now. I'm going to ask you to make it when the thing is actually scanned.
Oh no. That's evil.
So you won't know if you've passed or failed until somebody actually scans it, and then we'll find out.
Well, we need to have a backup plan for if that doesn't work and something gets like.
I'll get my gun.
Yeah, like. If something goes wrong, Baba and Jet are going to be in there already. Obviously, we're not supposed to be like shooting the place up.
I was joking about the gun, but no one said anything, and now I'm worried.
I don't know what the backup plan would be and kill everybody. So
God harm the animals!
Yeah, we can kill everyone but the animals. Maybe we could have someone like ready to break in it where the kennels are. And
Take the
grab
attention
a
of
dog
others.
or something.
Okay, well, we can do that as a flashback if everything goes wrong.
I can just
Yeah,
imagine.
God.
Just imagine we're being debriefed by Don. And it's like, so you managed to kill everybody in the place, burned it down to the ground, and you rescued every single animal, and we're just sitting there surrounded by animals.
Yeah.
We got the one you wanted, boss. You did.
We did the job.
And
Well, you're the
every
demolition
little
crew
thing.
from now on. No more stealth.
Okay, so shall we have a crack at this then and see how
Yes.
this goes? And
Let's
then
go.
if you do have to fall back
Scared.
onto a backup plan, we'll do that as we'll take a thingy point and say, do it as a flashback, tell me what the backup plan is, and let's run with that.
Okay.
Okay, so
I
this is
will
gonna be...
openly invite the other players. Please do tell Baba what to do. He doesn't really self-actualize that much.
Okay.
Okay, I've got you in eyesight. Don't worry.
So Louise,
so-
you picked up on this last game and started to do it, so that's exactly what I was after. Just like, people might not be comfortable telling another player's character what to do. It's like,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
just going to
it
stand
like
there
goes
and
against-
wait for instructions to be punched in.
Yeah, I'm not used to it because it like goes against like
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I know.
So
I don't want to say, Baba, you need to do this.
on day one, who's arriving first? Dog team or fake security team?
Dog team, that's it.
Dog team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
probably.
dog team.
Okay, so
We'll be close behind, like, you know.
Okay, so that's Jet and Baba. So let's just drop Jet there and Baba there. Baba doesn't seem to have come across. There we go, and I also need Dog.
Will we do? Oh, we've got the planners. Right. Okay. Cool.
Princess Floofy.
Yes.
Hang on. Before we go in, do we know what the dog looks like that we're after?
No.
Very good point.
It's a mastiff,
You
I
know,
think.
you know it's a mastiff, but that's all you know.
If it's an award-winning dog, there'll be pictures of it online, surely.
Yeah.
Good point. So give me a computer use.
Maybe someone else could do that. Someone who's good at it.
If we get in there and there's like 12 kennels full of mastiffs,
Am I the
Have to
only
take
one
them
with
all.
computers, by the way?
It
think
does
so.
seem odd for a
Would
Cyberpunk
appear so.
campaign, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you managed to bring up last year's crufts, and you can see pictures of this mastiff that came first in its class last year. And you're like, right, okay, I think I would recognise that mastiff if I saw it again.
Yeah.
So on the day of on the first day, we have Jet, Domino, and Baba walk into the vets. You've booked an appointment. The vets are expecting you. So as you wander in, they take your details. Certainly, yes. Just take a seat. The vet will see you shortly.
Okay. We
okay, are the seats bolted down?
Yes, they're bolted down.
All right.
no. She means sit down, Baba. Come on. That's both to you and the dog. That's fine. Come on.
Imagine Baba sat there like being patted on the head.
So as you sit there, the vet nurse kind of leans out and says, "Oh, sorry, I should have said that area is for small pets, cats, rabbits, that sort of thing. Dogs are in the larger waiting area on the far side. It's just so that we can keep dogs and cats separate, so it doesn't cause any,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Can you point me towards it?
Yeah, it's just the other side of the.
I can't see for my own eyes.
Where
Come
do
on,
humans sit?
The humans usually sit with their pets.
I'm so sorry.
Right.
Lovely
Yes,
guy.
your husband seems just a little bit
Your husband.
Grins at
confused.
Jet. and puts arm out at an angle.
Oh, God.
There's a really big sigh and grasps the arm. Come on, dear. Come on.
Yes.
You as well, puppy.
Okay, so you head over to the other area. just as you are
corner.
starting to say, at which point does fake security team want to arrive?
I think Caden needs to come in first as the courier.
I was actually going to suggest I go in sort of while you guys are talking. And then like, it's literally going to be a kind of, I come in, scan it, drop it off, and it looks perfectly...
Yeah, like
sort
casual,
of, casual.
All right, yeah, okay, we'll go in then, and then Caden will sort of come in just after, I guess.
Okay, so Caden's coming in at the moment, round about the same time as the vet. Hold on, I'm just having a little bit of trouble. I'm lagging a lot here. I'm not quite sure why. First time I've used the Wi-Fi from the studio. Usually I do this from home, so I don't know.
Sterling can do the talking, seeing as he's got like deception and stuff like that.
Doors have apparently all just locked themselves.
Oh no! We discovered it already.
Yes, that's basically because I set this up as if it was night, so the doors are locked. Just give me a second to unlock the doors.
Are you expecting us to break in at night?
Well, there's time yet. There you go. You should be able to open the doors now. Okay, so as Caden comes in and drops it off, the nurse is kind of on the phone at the same time and dealing with Caden. Oh yes, just if you'd just like to put it there, I'll sort that in a moment. At the same time as one of the vets comes, or one of the veterinary nurse comes out from this door over here, and says, "Princess Floofy."
Yes, Princess Floofy.
If you'd just like to follow me in, and we'll do a quick health check on the pet first and fill out the paperwork. Just make sure that the pet is healthy enough to undergo the operation and whatnot. Just follow me in to this room here, and then she eventually goes through that door.
Hey, the door opened. Wow, is this like lit by candle or something? Madam, if you wanted me to do in the room, all you needed to do was ask.
There you go, turn the light on.
Thank you.
Let's see now.
Oh, that's a thought. I mean, I realise we've only just got working windows and doors in that order. What about like player controllable light sources? If we could like switch the lights on and off ourselves.
Yeah, that would be quite a good. Right, for some reason it doesn't seem to have taken Jenny's. We did have trouble before the game linking your character and token up. It looks like it still hasn't actually done it. So let me just go back to the previous page.
Well, it can't be a game of Roll 20.
Well, without something happening, you're quite right. Yeah.
100 disaster
No,
dice.
but you are actually listed as that token, so that should have pulled that over. What it did instead was pull the generic blank token. So I'm just going to copy you from that page. I'm going to try it one more time, the method for just pulling it out from your character sheet. So I should just drag your character sheet over. There we go, it's worked this time. So
Guy's just ignoring us.
I'm trying very, very hard to ignore you. I imagined bizarrely enough that we would get through this without Jenny making a knob gag, but no.
Hey, I want the first one laugh.
I was clearly naive. Right, okay, so while you guys are in with the vet, and the vet's checking the dog over and make sure the dog's in good health, and gives you the paperwork to fill out to make sure that you've got they've got the permission to put the dog under anaesthetic, and is explaining, you know, they'll do the operation and you can come back this afternoon to collect the dog. They'll give you a call to say when it's ready, and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, Wraith and Alexandra have wandered in dressed as the security team for
With clipboards.
with clipboards and everything. Very good way to get around any building without being questioned, is to carry a clipboard and look like you're supposed to be there.
Or a high vis.
Or a high vis, yeah.
Oh,
The veterinary nurse looks up. Yes, can I help you?
Hello, my name is Alexander, and this is
Michael?
Michael. We are with let me just check my notes. We are with Safeguard International Security. We are here to check.
Are you sure? Because you didn't
the
sound so confident a minute ago.
We're here with Safeguard Security, and we're here to check those systems and make sure everything is okay. After installation, it's a part of our customer care. So if you could just direct us to the primary security system, we'll be out of your hair in just a few moments.
Okay, so somebody spend a conviction point. We're going to do a quick flashback. We're going to assume that you set this up earlier by ringing in to make the appointment, because it'd be less suspicious than some people just wandering in off the street, which means they will have checked. So you've rung in to make the appointment. They're expecting you, but they will have made a check that you are who you say that you are, which means this is where we find out if you did a good job of setting up the fake mirror site.
Okay.
So could I have a computer test from Jenny's character, please?
Oh, God.
And I'm not even going to tell you what the target number is, so you won't know if you've passed till the police rock up. Actually, with a roll like that, you're going to know you've passed. Okay, so the mirror site that you've created looks exactly like the real one. It's really, really hard to tell. In fact, you've even created a lot of links that do genuinely take you to the real one. So they did check that you were who you say you were at the time on the website when you rang in, and sure enough, they're convinced by your mirror site that that they were making an appointment to actually see who you were. So, back to the current time. Yes, I believe you arranged that with my colleague this morning. Excellent. I'm just going to need to scan your badges, just to make sure you are, you can't be too careful. So it gets like a hand scanner out and runs it over the QR codes on your badges. Bleep, bleep. So, did you score any? No, you didn't. So I'm going to need a separate security test, I think. Well, no, we'll make it computing again. Give me an intelligence computing test to make sure that you set this bit up right.
But I've done really well already.
She doesn't scan you and think you're a Mars bar or something. That's odd.
I'm a bar, surely.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope that's enough.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. If you'd just like to follow me through this door, I will show you into the office, which just takes you through the door behind. You should be able to follow.
Where'd you go?
Just through this door here. Yeah.
The door wasn't even open. You just phased through the door.
Just straight through. There you are. If there's anything you need, just let me know. A cup of coffee or anything like that.
Ooh, a coffee would actually be lovely. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just go and arrange for a cup of coffee. It's this computer desk you wanting here.
All right, thanks very much.
And off she goes.
All right, let's get hacking into the computer then.
Okay, so you pull the air gap computer up, you boot it up, and you realise that the other computer is already operational. Somebody's been on it today, somebody's been using it. But this one is the air-gapped one that you're going to need to pull the security camera information off later on. So, you're going to have to give me a hacking test, but we're not going to make it now.
Evil.
We're going to make it later on when the main run actually starts, and then we're going to see if you successfully set everything up. But
Okay.
you set in some code so that ideally the DDR RAM should be inadvertently broadcasting the information you need to use it as a Wi-Fi. But it's a very, very short range. So as long as nobody moves that package that Caden dropped in out of range, the package should relay the short range transmission out to a much further range. So
do we actually? Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do we actually have like comms between each other?
Yeah, you will have. You've all got handsets very similar to a modern mobile phone, but much more powerful.
Okay, good. Just in case,
So if you imagine something the size of a mobile phone, but with the power of a high-spec laptop, it's what your phones are like at the moment. Yeah. So yes, you can communicate with one another.
All right.
And with that done, I'm going to delete you from here and relock all the doors.
We just turned to dust.
I think I got stuck in the foyer.
It looks like you're stuck in. It looks like you're stuck in the foyer, but don't worry about that. I'll delete you.
Where did Wraith go? What happened?
Oddly enough, it didn't. There we go.
You know what? See half the map disappear, then more bits of the map disappear, and then now I've just got Jet and Baba and the nurse and the dog. And now Baba's gone. It's terrifying. Oh my god.
And just like that, all the lights went out.
Yep.
Why am I the only one left?
Okay, so
Dark.
was there anything else you wanted to do when you were in there? Sorry, I should have checked.
Well, I was hoping we could set up a keylogger to get passwords.
Yeah.
Jenny, what do you think about... I haven't thought this through at all, but we could have some kind of, like, malware to do something, but I don't know what, because like I said, I haven't thought about it. Do you think we could do something like this?
I don't... Well... I mean, the main thing is to remove the security cameras and alarms.
Wait. I've got a question. I know I've interrupted you, and I apologise.
No,
but so you know the cameras, are they monitored in-house? Or are they monitored by the security firm?
No, they're monitored
like,
in-house
externally?
because the air gaps. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. What do you think about looping the video feed? Or do you think that's a bit stupid?
No, I think that might actually, if there's someone, actually, yeah, come to think of it, do they have like a security person who's actually watching?
You noticed as you came back behind the what do you call it, reception desk, you noticed that one of the screens on the reception desk has the monitors for the cameras.
Okay.
So whoever's at reception seems to be monitoring the thing.
Right.
Also, I'm going to say that whilst you're filling out the paperwork for the dog, that'll be the point at which Barbar excuses himself to go to the toilet, because didn't you say you were going to fake going to the toilet so that you could get into the mechanical room? Is that right?
I suggested that. Nobody rubber stamped it. Nobody approved it.
Oh, okay.
No one denied it either.
To be fair, nobody said for him not to.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so I'm starting to put some of you back in now, just because. So we are.
Jet's his present handler. So will Jet have said anything to him about not wrecking the generator?
Honestly, though, I think that might be like a backup plan. Do you know what I mean? If something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a sneaky way, you could then Balbar could go in like just turn everything off essentially. Possibly, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, you can go in and plant something that you can activate later to depower it if you need to, while you're here, sort of thing. You can lay your hands on some explosives, yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh god!
Well, the place is likely to be locked.
Yes.
Getting in there is just going to be once I'm in there, it should just be a matter of pulling the plug. It'll be wired in somehow. Just pulling some cables out should disconnect the generator from the internal ring main.
Well, yeah, but are you wanting to disconnect the generator now? I mean, you could do, because they won't notice straight away because they're not running on the emergency generator, are they? So
Exactly.
Yeah, you could do.
Right, yes, actually, yeah.
Okay,
Just
so
get an emergency one, yeah.
So, Baba, you head down to you claim to the toilets, but you're actually looking for the door to the thingy room. You glance round and you notice that the receptionist has disappeared from where she should be sat. I know she's still marked there. I'm not bothered to move her because she's busy making coffee for the fake security team. This is your time to get through that door. So, what would you like to do to get through the door?
What would I like to do to get through the door?
Yep.
Well, try it first and see if it's unlocked. Just
It is
on the off
unlocked,
chance.
Yeah.
It is unlocked, and therefore you should be able to operate the door yourself on the thing.
But I can't.
You can't. Oh, in that case, it must be locked. It shouldn't have been.
No, I'm on the landing page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would be why. There you go.
This is like nightmare. Where am I?
Yes, it
That's great.
is. There, you should be back on the correct
Right,
page now.
Is it that? That one's locked.
Yeah.
I can't. Brian, I can't see anything.
You're standing right next to the
Everything's-
door.
Everything's fog up. Well, honestly, this is perfectly in character. But is that the toilets?
That's the toilets up
is
there.
it-
Yes.
Is this one? Right, hang on. Is it this one?
No, that's the exit. That's the fire door. It's this one to the south of
Can you
you.
imagine him doing this in character?
Genuinely, like line of sight, major issues here. Can you just take a look at what I can see?
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Because I couldn't even. I've managed to phase through that door, but I couldn't see the door icon.
I've no idea how you got through.
I mean, I guess it's in character.
My favourite part
And I
of all of
actually
this
can't
as well,
select you
does
now
I
because you
don't-
keep moving the fucking...
Yeah,
Right,
there's
you're
a little
in the
gap
room
in
you
the wall,
need to
Brian.
be. Right, okay, there shouldn't be, but
Right,
doesn't matter.
I can actually see through into that room through the wall.
Right, well that's the
and
room you're
and get
supposed to
through
be
it.
in, so just get on with it.
I'm just telling you what the problem is. I couldn't see at all. Right.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
you asked me to check your line of sight, but then you wouldn't stop moving the token, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't capture it to have a look.
I was panicking. Right.
Stop
I'll
moving
stay
the
still.
fucking thing!
I have. If it's moving now, it's a big ghost.
Oh, right, actually, yeah, you can't seem to see to the south, even though you should be able to.
Thank
Well,
you.
there's no explanation for why there seems to be a black section. I'm just going to place another light and see if that helps.
More candles.
4 candles.
More arcane candles.
Candles.
That's better. There we go.
Did that help? Do
I've had a cataract operation.
you know what would have been easier if I just turned the full daylight on instead, but and then turned it
Probably.
off when you leave?
I'm in the room now. I'm in the room.
Yay.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a look at this window first of all. Does it look like it's rigged up with a burglar alarm of some description?
Okay, let me just take a look. Actually, no, there doesn't appear to be any wires connecting the window. However, you are aware that they could be internal, so give me a perception searching test.
Could I do a flashback of some kind where we made sure Baba knew what was like alarmed and what wasn't? Just in
I'm
case.
alarmed.
Um,
Personally, I'm very alarmed.
yes, you,
Very alarmed and
yes, you can do
rude.
that. Take a thingy point off. So,
Okay.
flashing back, Barbar remembers that Jet gave him a complete list of all the windows that were alarmed, and in actual fact, none of them are, but the fire doors are all alarmed. Nobody's thought
Right.
to alarm the windows because none of the windows can be opened from outside. They can only be opened
Right.
from inside. However, it occurs to Barbar while you're in here, this is not a room anybody's likely to be coming into except when the need arises. So you could actually leave that window ajar now if you wanted
That's
to.
exactly what I'm going to do.
Ah,
Exactly what I'm doing.
yeah.
Right, there we go.
Yep.
Excellent. Right, and now having a I got 4 stunt points there.
Right, okay.
Nice.
May I apply those stunt points to looking at the generator
Yes.
to see how it's wired into the system and how I can just very sneakily deactivate it?
Yes, you can. Okay, so taking a look at the generator, you can see that it's wired into the mains. The only real option that strikes you at first is to just sever the lines manually. However, if you did that, the lines themselves would be live. And then it occurs to you, will it occur? Yeah, because you're only at -1 intelligence, so you're dumb, but you're not entirely stupid. So it occurs to you that if the input from the mains is live, but the generator isn't actually supplying the anything to the building, then one of these switches here must be controlling the fact that the generator is currently not operating the loop. So all you have to do is switch the switches around to the off position to make sure they stay off. So you need to jam one essentially so that it won't kick in when the main stops producing the thing. So taking a look, are you going to be able to figure out which...
This is on stunt points.
This is on stun points, yeah. So you've gained stun points. Yeah, you think you can see how to disarm this generator.
Okay.
So you flick all the right switches, are fairly convinced you've deactivated the generator so that it won't kick in automatically. You are aware that it's not done anything permanent to it, so if somebody just came in, they could turn the generator back on manually. But you're hoping that they wouldn't think of that because the generator should normally kick in automatically. Even if they do think about it, it'll buy you time anyway.
Yes.
Okay, so that's part 1 of your planning. So I'm just going to delete you from there again.
My favourite part of all of that was when we were having the where's the toilet and where's the doors. All I was seeing was the black screen and lots of pinging.
You know what? So was I. That's all I could say.
Yeah, there was a bizarre dark spot that I can't quite explain, which is why in the end I just turned the daylight back on, so I must remember to turn the daylight back off now.
Sometimes, for some weird reason, that happens, doesn't it, on random maps?
Yeah,
There'll be
it does.
just like a column or like a weird triangle or something.
That you can't see through, and there's no explanation because there's no lines that should be blocking it at all, but it just does. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. Okay, so the rest of the day you spend kind of refining your plan, ready for the actual break-in. Eventually, the dog team, which is Barbar and Jet, are given the go-ahead to come and pick up Princess Floofy. You go back round, pick up Princess Floofy, who's recovering nicely, but is entirely whacked off on nip-nops. So she's going to staggering about a bit in the dog carrier. You get you get her back to Mrs. Swift. And you what? Sorry.
I'm just giving her treats.
So you give her.
You're a good doggy.
Yeah, you give the dog treats for being a good doggy and take her back to Mrs. Swift, who's over the moon and presents you with the cake that they made in exchange for you bringing the dog in. That evening, you're now pretty sure that you have everything ready for the actual run on the place. So, I'm going to take you back over to the same map. We are going to set it. I am actually going to turn the daylight on, but I'm going to turn the level of daylight. Actually, I don't need to because there should be lights on all sides. So I'm going to drag you over there and then bring your... When you approach the building for your actual run to break in and steal the dog, which direction are you coming from?
I kind of want to say that the bottom of the map almost,
The back of
because
the building.
that's going to be less. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know what everyone else's thoughts are on that.
I think so. Whichever side's the quietest away from public view, you know.
Yeah, probably the back.
Are we going to cut the power this time?
Well, we should have already have disabled some stuff.
With the backup generator disabled from the last run, if we cut the external power, that's all the cameras dead, it's all the alarms dead, all the lights are down, and they're in a panic. They're completely disorientated. They don't know what's going on. We go in with headlight torches. All they see is light. We can see, they can't.
Question is, do you want to... Sorry, go on.
No, go on, Brian. That's all right.
Question is, do you want to do that and risk having them realise something's on, or do you want to cut the power as a backup plan if all else fails?
Thing is, once we're inside, or once we've approached the building and been seen to go in, we've been seen on the cameras. Yeah,
They've been looped, aren't they?
Has that definitely taken place?
As far as
I remember it being mentioned as an idea.
Oh, we actually roleplayed the bit where they went in the back and that said we're not going to make the roll for that till the time actually comes to see if he was successful or not.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you could do, I suppose, is test it now and find out if it managed to loop, and if you don't, then you can go with backup plan, which is cut power.
Yeah, I think cutting the power would be a backup because we're really trying to be super sneaky.
Okay.
So if we alert them all that there's something going on by cutting off the power and going in with headlight lamps on and everything, they're going to know something was up. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to risk them calling authorities or anything like that. But if the super sneaky stuff doesn't go right,
just another thought to throw out there. If we can make fake IDs, why don't we make a fake ID for somebody of the Kelly family and say we're here to collect our dog?
I think it's because didn't the dog need to be in for a certain amount of time? Like it couldn't be picked up because it's recovering. I think.
Yeah,
I think
correct.
that's what it was.
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my big worry is then they'd ring the number they'd have. Just because in my real world, in my real life job, in the real world outside the game, I wouldn't if someone was picking up a child I was tutoring and I didn't know them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then can we rig their phone system so that the next number that they ring rings through to one of our devices?
That is something you could have set up while you were in there doing IT support, if you wanted to do that. But bearing in mind that they probably already know when there's probably already an appointment. I mean, thinking about when my cats have been in the veterinary hospital, I would already have an appointment 3 days down the line, know when I was picking them up.
Yeah, it would probably raise suspicion if someone's trying to go in earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they don't.
Generally speaking, the vets don't let you decide when you're picking them up. They tell you.
No, not normally.
They ring you and go, you can pick them up on Wednesday. Here are the time slots that are available.
For your average Joe Bloggs, yes, but for a member of the Kelly family, they're going to know their reputation.
Well, would a vet necessarily know the reputation? I don't know. The vets don't kind of.
Well,
I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to the
correct me if
players.
I'm wrong.
Sorry, vet.
Vets
What?
are usually like gangster doctors. A vet can take a bullet out and not inform the police, which a hospital would have to do. So that might be why they use this vet, both for their pets and for.
I don't know. I have like ripper docs in this sort of world, like backstreet doctors essentially.
Yeah.
Who would probably do that kind of thing? Not sure. I'm not sure on the. I know that's a thing in Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
The other Cyberpunk. I don't know about this one.
I mean, the Kellys will have their own Ripper docs, just as you have. That's largely what Jet is. Yeah. But it is an option, so it's up to the party. Do you want to try that? In which case, we can give it a go, or do you want to go with? Do you want to make that like the backup to the backup plan, or do you want to make that the primary plan?
I feel like backup to the backup because I almost feel like I don't want them to know the dog has been taken until we are way out of the way.
Okay.
I don't want them to see necessarily like our face, like if one of us is, or some of us are trying to pretend to be members of that family, and then they see our faces, etc., and all that sort of thing. So
yeah, because it would have to be someone with a high persuasion that they haven't seen yet, and I couldn't do that because I've already been seen as the courier or the security dude.
Likewise,
and
all
who
of
else
us
had? Who else was it who had the high communication?
I have high communication.
Yeah,
We've
but you were also seen with the dog, weren't you?
Yeah, and I was seen dropping off the package.
Yeah.
So.
Of all of you, you reckon the person that would be least likely to be able to pick out of a lineup is probably the courier?
Yeah.
So
unless the receptionist is different, then it wouldn't really be a...
Unless the receptionist is different. But the shortest length of time that any of your team was seen would have been the courier, who was seen briefly and then left. The rest of you were in for longer and had conversations with people. Also...
And I've got something that could potentially proc as well, if they do any kind of test to find out information about me.
Okay.
Living on the fringe gives me, or rather, other characters will get a penalty of -2 to find information about me.
Yeah.
Right.
If things are right, I can stack it with cover your tracks rather, which is a stunt.
Okay.
Gives me another -2 on rolls to find where I am. So if the stars align and it all procs, it could end up potentially being a -4.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe we go with the original plan, which is just trying to fucking sneak in, basically. If something goes wrong, then we've got...
Well, Barbar's left one of the windows slightly ajar, so it's not obvious that it's open, but you guys know it is. One of you will have brought a cat's paw or a jemmy that would allow you to get under and open it, because he's made sure it wasn't locked and it was left just slightly open. So you know you've definitely got a point of entry.
If we're not going to be seen, or at least we shouldn't be seen by the cameras.
You shouldn't be seen by the cameras. We're going to find that out in a moment. So right now, you guys are in the dark, sort of across the street, and all you have to do is cross the street in the park to get to the back of the building where I've dropped you on. You will be under the range of the cameras, so now is a great time to find out, did you actually manage to set up that loop? So, give me a computer hacking test, please, because you are actually in the air-gapped computer that it was on. I'm going to make it one step easier than I said it would have been when I wrote it. So it should have been an intelligence computer hack of easy, because it's not a brilliant system. but it's now.
Okay.
Well, you needed to do code finding as well. So, give me the computer hack
look.
first of all. 7 or better in the computer hack that we've gotten in.
Well, I got
21.
21.
Absolutely. So now I need a code finding test from you. It would have been a
God.
average test, but I'm dropping it to easy because you were in the actual computer it was on.
Okay, that's not the best. 12.
So hiding in position, just round the corner in the next street, you activate the thing. You think, I really hope I can get, and bleep, there you're aware of the fact that you have triggered the loop. You're checking it on your own screen on your sort of phone thing.
For a second when you said triggered, that I was like, what?
Sure enough, you see, just for a split second, the cameras judder, and then you see the loop that you set in kicks in. This means that nobody has moved that parcel out of range that Caden arrived.
Yes.
Delivered, because the only reason you were able to activate it from here is because you're using that relay that he delivered. So the delivery of the relay has been successful. The hack has been successful, which means from now on, anything you want to do in their system, you don't need the first hack roll to get in because you're already in. So it would just go straight to the code finding or security test.
Fantastic.
So what would you like to do next?
Breaking
Right.
the back door.
I think.
Oh, so you go.
Oh no, go like give suggestions and stuff. But I'm thinking about like if there were alarms or anything, I would want to try and turn them off.
So you know,
Yeah, I'm just looking at the plans again as well, and I noticed there's another door over in approximately over there.
Yeah.
But I will also see on the plans there's a staff room there with a window looking directly at it.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So the doors are security alarmed. So if you open the door, it'll set all the fire alarms off.
Yeah. But we do have the window to get in.
You do have the window to get in. You can try, because you're already into their system, you could try to disarm the security alarm on the doors. The question is, do you want to do that now, or do you want to do that when the moment comes?
I'll wait until we need to use, or we're about to need to use any doors, if possible.
Okay, so how are you getting in? Bearing in mind, Barbar did leave a window open for you for exactly this purpose.
The window.
But it is a question of, it's round the front of the building, sort of. It's over here where I'm pinging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Right. Well, I mean, if we think we can't stealth it, then I could try and do that one.
You think you could probably stealth it? It's the end of the building. Nobody should be in this time of night. It's a window that's been deliberately left open for you. You feel good about this?
Who's got good perception?
Mine's only one.
The last time Barbar looked for something, he did really well.
You did,
He believes he has good perception.
All right.
Probably does,
Caden does have good perception at a 3. So
Yeah, because we need whoever's got decent perception to keep an eye out whilst maybe the more clumsy of us are climbing in.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can.
So you said that the kennels had a camera in them.
Yes.
When was the last time that the dogs were like fed or whatever?
It would have been their evening meal, which would have been about 6 o'clock.
And what time is it now?
What time do you want it to be? What time did you go in? Bear in mind that the vets doesn't close till 8:30.
Oh, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking if they've just been fed, they're probably not going to check on the dogs for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt it. I think we'd probably arrive here like just after they've closed.
Okay, so we're going to say it's about 8:45.
Yeah.
I
I
seem to be
reckon
getting a
anyway.
lot of noise in my headset. Is that coming from anybody?
Yeah, it's you.
Me?
Yeah, what happens when you talk?
No, it was constant. It wasn't when I was talking.
Well, I'll mute myself. I'll see
No,
if
it's
it might be
stopped
me.
now. It's stopped now.
Oh, weird.
Weird. Yeah.
As soon as Louise said it's coming from you, it stopped.
Stopped.
A ghost again.
It's like ghost again. Yeah. Okay.
He's hacking the system.
So yeah.
In the game.
Bearing in mind you know where the window is, do you want to start moving in the direction you're heading? And I'll tell you if
Yep,
you need
and
to
whoever's
stop for
got
anything.
the perception can go in front to make sure nobody sees us.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
I've got the best perception, and I'm a little bit parkoury, so
Okay, could you
Okay,
position yourself
excellent.
about where
I
I'm
can,
pinging now and then make a perception seeing test for me, please?
I don't see you.
Oh, I've got kind of.
Okay, so you creep up there and have a look
Uh,
around, make sure there's no security patrols or anything before waving the rest of the party on. Give me that perception test. 14. Okay, you notice something. There is a single car in the car park. It's a big, black, expensive car. It's an well, I say expensive. It's not hugely expensive, but it's an armored sedan.
Oh.
Is that what the Kellys drive?
Yep. So does Don. So does Don as well. It's very common amongst sort of gangsters because it looks like a standard sedan, but you can tell it's an armored type because you can see it's riding just a little bit low, and that's probably the weight of the armor. It has tinted windows as well. It's noticeable
What do you
because
guys
it's like
think?
it's 8:30. The vets are closed. There's a single car in the vet's car park that just shouldn't be there. Unless, of course, it belongs to one of the vets. But their cars are all parked over in the
Yeah, it'll
staff
just be a
car park.
security team on us. I was thinking.
Is there someone in it?
You can't tell because the
windows
Can you
windows
tell
are
'cause it's
tinted. Yeah.
Tinted.
Can I use my cybernetic eye to try and... I don't know if this will do anything, but I can see radio sources, active comm links, radio waves, wireless networks,
Okay, there
things
are,
like that. Just see if there's a
there are
comm
2
thing going
phones
on.
connected to the internet inside that car.
Okay, I'll relay this to everybody then.
I could create some kind of distraction. I was originally thinking I go in the vets as someone who really needs the toilet. But if the people outside, I could create some kind of distraction with them. I don't know.
I was even going to suggest something simpler. It's just ring those phones and ask about their car's extended warranty. One of them's be a spam caller.
I mean, with a code
Okay.
finder
I don't-
tool, you could get the number.
Could you connect to those phones and get them to run some sort of feedback loop that would overheat the battery?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Some sort of cyber attack that would effectively set it on fire.
Yeah. You might be able to do something similar to that. You're not sure you could overheat the battery, but you could certainly force a shutdown.
Or force
Yeah.
a message onto the screen. Return to base now. We're under attack. Emergency. Return to base.
You might well be able to do that as
Possible.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. Are those phones currently on calls or anything?
One's on call, one seems to be surfing for porn.
Okay. Right, okay.
Can we make it yell a really loud advert?
Yeah.
Probably.
Is there a way I could listen in?
You
on
should have
that
gotten
phone?
NordVPN.
Yeah.
Is there a way you can listen in? Yes, you could give me a hacking test.
Not on the pod, but on the
With NordVPN, we wouldn't have seen you having a hand shandy.
You can give me a hacking test before this conversation gets any worse. It's quite hard because you're hacking a terminal you've not had any physical connection to. It's going to be a relatively hard target, but you think you can do it.
Okay. What would be the consequence if I failed? Would they know?
You don't think they would know, not unless you really fucked it up.
Don't say that. Right, okay. Alright, I'll give it a go. Ooh, 18.
18?
See what's
Yeah,
saying
you've
then.
hacked it. Okay. So you managed to hack into the call, and you can hear him. He seems to be telling a bedtime story.
Oh. Is he telling the bedtime story of the dog?
You don't think so, but you can't be sure.
Right, so these are like goons that are there. They're like.
It looks suspiciously
Alright.
like it's a. The only explanation you can come up with is that the Kellys have put two people in the car park to keep an eye on the vets while the dog's there. You think that's what this is.
Yeah.
And you think that one of the
And
guys
they're
is
like,
surfing
would
for
rather
porn.
be somewhere else.
Yes, exactly. Whilst the other one's essentially
Yeah.
rung home and is telling a bedtime story to his child that you think is what's going on.
To his kid.
But that
Right,
means you
okay.
suspect both of these are slightly distracted, so you might be able to use, you notice the dumpsters?
Yeah.
You might be able to use shadows plus dumpsters as cover to get through that thing get through that window without being spotted, but it's risky.
I'll tell
I've got an
you.
idea.
What do you think we should do? Should I try and hack the phones to get them to fuck off? Or...
I have an idea. I have a car. I'm going to. How about I pretend to break down, and I need their assistance.
Ooh,
I need you to
okay.
jumpstart my car, please.
Ooh, could do.
That could work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can still have phone calls or text messages or whatnot as potential either backups or alongside to really distract.
Yeah. Because those are the options. We either just hope they're distracted enough they don't see us. One of us, then creates a distraction, but then how would you get in the building after that?
I don't know if I'm necessarily needed in the building. The more people are in the building, the more chance we'll get caught.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost like inclined to say no more than two. In the building itself, just because 4 or 5 of us, like Ben said, it's
Would I be able to get the car round back? Because I'm thinking I can distract these guys. They eventually help me with the car. I drive off, and I'll be able to loop round the back and meet everyone, get the dog in, and drive off. Could that be possible?
Actually, yeah, because then
Probably.
you'd be ready to go with the vehicle.
Yeah, you think you can probably do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, who's the sneakiest then, and who would want to go inside? Like, I can stay outside and do stuff, or I can go in.
Yeah, 'cause bear in mind, it doesn't matter how close you are to one another, you can communicate.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be together.
I think it's probably better for me to stay outside with you because again, the staff have seen me. But also, if anybody does catch me out here and just be like, "Oh yeah, I think I left a dog toy here."
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
So I broke in.
So who is the
Princess can't sleep without it.
so who's the insertion team then? Who's going in?
Negative.
Okay.
What does stealth fall under? As a
Dexterity.
forgive the slight bit of mettering. I've got really good decks, so potentially.
Yeah, I think you'd probably be a good option to go in.
So
Honestly,
Caitlin-
Jenny, I think I think you should go in just for all your hacking stuff. It might come in helpful.
Okay, I do have stealth, so
Yeah, and you've got such a good history of stealth rolls.
I know, right?
Having said
Stop
that,
it.
the only game where you've ever succeeded at a stealth test has been under the age system, so
That's true.
Don't fall in a bin.
So, I mean, you can do most of your hacking from out here, unless you need any. I mean, if you needed to open a key card door, you might need to be there possibly, but you might be able to find that with a code finding on the system that you're already in. So, it's up to you.
What about Baba? I'm guessing, like, how he's probably not very stealthy, I'd imagine.
Didn't you say you wanted a distraction?
Yeah, he could be part of the
Very,
distraction.
very distracting.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, because if Ben's, like, Sterling says about broken down car thing, Baba could be with him and, like, help with the distraction. And also, like, I'm guessing Baba's a pretty big...
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, so he would be able to block their line of sight from us sneaking into the building.
Just
On
shimmying
the
around
wall.
their line of
Yes.
sight.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So far we've only got Caden going in. Is anybody going in with them?
It's me and Caden.
You're going in as well. Okay. So Caden and Wraith are going in.
God,
Okay.
scared.
So can you
Oh my
move yourself up next to Caden? We'll assume you two are both hiding round that corner, peering out across the thing. You can see the car. You kind of just your heads round the corner, looking at the car, waiting for them to be distracted. You see Sterling pull in and fake stall the car, and then kind of put across the car park. Right, so what's Sterling doing now, assuming that Barbar's in the car with him? What are you guys doing?
Well, yeah, I'll feel like I'll actually do something with the engine, like something that's not suspicious that could maybe happen by itself, and then use that as like a distraction. I'll break down, I'll fiddle around with the engine, pop the hood, kind of make a bit of a scene, and then after like maybe about 30 seconds, I'll look around, see their SUV, and then go and knock on the window.
Okay, could you give me a communication deception test, please? This will tell us how realistic your fake breakdown
I don't
appears to
have
them.
deception,
That's okay.
but I do have a talent that allows me to re-roll deception. So
Right, okay. So you can make the test anyway without the focus. Because I've called deception as the appropriate focus, if you don't score very high, you get a chance to re-roll it.
okay.
Could Barbar
Gonna re-roll
intimidate
that?
them into helping?
There we go. Good thing I had the re-roll.
It is, isn't it? So initially you're going to hop out of the car and you think, I don't know how realistic this is going to look. I've never broken down before. I've got people who fix me cars. And then you pop the hood and start rummaging around underneath, and you remember all the things you've seen your engineers do, your mechanics rather do. And you think, yeah, I can pull this off. Let's see if they can tell that you're faking. So they're going to need a perception. No, they're not. They're going. Yes, perception empathy test. They're going to need. They need to beat 18. There's two of them, so they get two chances. So the first one. Well, I've clicked for it to roll. First one's too busy. I mean, he's looking at you, but
Wow.
it looks the second one actually gets out the car and starts coming up. You all right there? You're broken down.
Yeah, it's just stopped. I was driving home and it's just stopped. I have no idea what's happened.
Here, let me have a look.
Do you
at
know
that.
anything about engines?
Yeah.
Broken.
Yeah, I know about engines. Let's have a look. And he pops the. Well, you've already popped the hood. He has a look at the engine and he notices that there is something wrong with it because you set it up earlier to make it look as if there was something wrong. Give me an intelligence engineering test, please. To create something that doesn't look like you did it is an average test, so you need 11 or better. If you there you go. So had you failed, he was going to get a chance to roll to go. Hang on a minute. somebody sabotaged this. But because you have done something to that engine that could have happened naturally, he's busy fixing it for you. He's like, yeah, just hang on. You see the other door open and the guy steps out. He's got his hand suspiciously under his jacket. So what's going on? So all right, it's all right. This guy's just broken down. I'm just fixing his car. For fuck's sake, we've got a job to do. You're fucking watching a vet. How much excitement is there going to happen? And as he's saying that, behind him, two people are sneaking through a window.
Would it be a good idea for Jet to come with us, because you've got the most sort of
I do have fairly bright hair.
Yeah, I mean, so does Wraith. He's got bright blue hair.
So, is Jet going to be part of the insertion team or not?
It's because of the dog animal handling side of things.
But I don't actually have animal handling, but I do have pockets full of treats, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a +1 on any animal handling roll because of that. Okay, so let's start with...
I missed that.
Sorry?
I missed that.
I said I will give
I missed what you said.
I said I will give you +1 on any animal handling test then.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Right, shit, I've just...
You don't have to, but it's just... yes.
I can't get in.
You what now?
I can't get in.
That's because you're trying to break in the wrong window, that'll be why.
Where's the right window? There's someone ping.
I'm trying to ping, but nothing's happening.
I'm on the complete wrong side of the building.
You
okay.
are, yeah.
All right.
So who's going in? Who's going in first?
Caden?
Yeah. I'm always too anxious to have 3 in.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Could I get a stealth test from Caden while we're deciding who else is actually going to go in? There's a hair. That's dexterity. Does improvisation, can that kick in? So I can make an ability test that requires a specific focus, even though I don't have that focus?
Yes, you can.
Lovely. So that will be dexterity. I don't get the bonus, but I can still at least do it for an 18.
Okay.
Nice.
So you can place yourself through the other side of that window. You kind of climb through the window and just slide in. It's like a professional. The rest of you are like, oh, look at that. He must break into a lot of places. Meanwhile, he's like, oh, this is interesting. This is the first time I've ever broken in anyway.
I'm attempting. Could I be nudged through?
You should just be able to walk through that window, but I'll put you through anyway. There you go.
There you are. Lovely.
Who's going in next? Fuck's sake.
I'll
Fuck
go
it,
in.
I will. Sorry, I'd already said, but I'd managed to mute myself.
All right, well, you go in next then.
Okay, go for it. Could I have a test for Jet, please?
Yeah, dude.
And you scored 13. Okay.
Okay, I'm now in complete darkness.
Yes, because there's no light in this
Stuck in the
room,
wall.
that's why. Oh no, you've stuck
I'm also
yourself
stuck
on
in
the
the
wall.
wall.
Fuck's sake. Okay, and for Wraith,
Wow,
please.
that's amazing. Now into another room I'm not in.
Okay, I'll have already switched to my stealth focus, so I'll get a +2. Hopefully this will work, because you know what my track record's like.
I do.
14.
Yeah.
14.
You said you had stealth?
It's like I have a program where I can switch different focuses.
Oh,
like
right, okay.
5.
Yeah, she's got a chip
And
socket.
I put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very
so
cool.
you clamber through the window as well, so that means the worst in the group is 13. So the opponents, the two guards that have been distracted, would need to roll a 13 in order to spot you, but they are being heavily distracted. So one of them's going to get no chance at all to see, because he's currently got his head under the bonnet of the car. The other one might see because he's the one that's got out and gone like, we've got a job to do. So he is kind of glancing around, but he's distracted. So I'm going to give him -2 on his perception test.
Can I potentially increase the distraction as I haven't really acted?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Looking at the guy who's reaching into his coat, you said, in a suspicious way.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach into my coat in a suspicious way in front of him. And tell me if it costs a conviction point. But earlier on, I had something in there, just for his own entertainment. Pulls out a puppet.
Yeah, give me spend a conviction point in, and yes, earlier on you had a puppet. You're trying to teach yourself ventriloquism, and your hand puppet is in your pocket. So as you reach in, you see the other guy pulls out a gun, and you pull out a puppet. So he pulls out a handgun and points it at you, and you pull out this hand puppet, and he just looks at it and goes, "The fuck?" And then he slowly, and in a rather embarrassing...
The hand puppet sees the gun.
Yes.
The hand puppet sees the gun and covers its eyes.
That's fantastic. Okay, so as the hand puppet covers his eyes, he very embarrassed puts the gun away. But that means that his focus was entirely on you, which means he's missed the fact that in the background, Jet's legs are sticking out of a window, waggling as they try to... And he misses the slight thump sound as Jet falls into the room. Right. Meanwhile, you three guys are now inside the mechanical room, which is pitch black. It's really dark in here.
Where are conviction points, please?
You might have to activate them. So if you on your character sheet, if you click
I've got it. I've got it.
You should have started with 3.
I want to know what this puppet looks like.
Okay. If do you remember Hawkie and Corky?
No, I don't think so.
I'll get a picture.
Okay.
You carry on.
You can hear.
So we're meant to not be able to see anything at the minute.
You can see a little bit, but it's quite dark. So it's, there's a bit of light drifting through the. That really is fucking dark, isn't it? I'm just going to turn.
It's like this one big dark room.
Turn the daylight up just a little bit on the dynamic lighting. Oh, the daylight mode's off. That would be why. There you go.
Hey.
So all you can
the
see
only character talking I could see was me.
Right, well the other's standing right next to you.
Yeah, I see them now.
Let's see, yeah.
Right, okay, yeah. So yeah, you found the door that Barbar told you was unlocked, only in the interim somebody has locked it.
Oh,
Bollocks.
Damn it.
Okay, I should be able to unlock it, hopefully.
Okay, well it's a fairly simple mechanical lock, so you're going to need a lock picking test, dexterity.
Bollocks.
It's
not an electronic one, I'm fucked.
It's actually dexterity sabotage you need to pick mechanical lock.
Okay, does anyone have that? Because I certainly do.
I have dexterity and the improvise thing, so I could probably
go for it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. It's like it's an old skill. It's a skill that's definitely been forgotten as we've all moved to a digital world. And maybe Kate knows it.
Yeah. What did you score? 15.
15 in total.
And it was a challenging lock to pick from this side. So that's 13 would have been the target number. So you have indeed picked that lock. So I will unlock it, and you should be able to open and close the door yourself now.
Yay! I can close it. Open it. Close it. Sorry, sorry. It's the new feature. I'm very much a
Have you been on the nitrous oxide by any chance?
My face palm.
Okay, so you open the door and peer out. I just want to check a couple of things, and the first of which is, oh, lucky. All right, okay. Go for it. What would you like to do next?
Oh, God. Right, well, we know what direction to go, don't we? So,
Yeah, we've got the plan. So, yeah, as quietly, as quickly as possible.
Okay,
the
move yourself
other
as if
side.
you were in combat. So whatever your speed is, that is the distance you're able to move. Once
What was
everybody
my
has
speed
done
then?
that, I will tell you if you can move again or if anything's happened.
Speed is 30, so that's 13 squares?
13 squares, yeah.
Yep, alright. 1, 2,
Caden definitely go first because, yeah.
3. I'm going to get going like relatively slowly, so I'm also counting them and being very nervous here. 4. Oh, don't want to avoid the doors potentially. 5. 6. I hope that's not open. 7. 8. 9.
You're okay so far.
10. 11.
Me.
I can only get to here.
Stop.
Yeah, get there.
Okay,
Well-
so... Okay, stop. Whoever this is,
12.
I need a stealth roll from.
Yeah.
Why are you upside down?
He's crawling on the ceiling.
Oh, what a feeling! Would that be under Dex?
Dexterity stealth, yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, no!
Can you spend a conviction point for a reroll?
I believe you can. Let me just make a quick check.
Oh, wow, my God.
So, I'm just bringing up the conviction points. If I can find conviction points.
Well, we've got a moment. If you'd like to check the Cyberpunk Gangwar Facebook chat, you can see what Barbar's puppet looks like.
Oh.
Okay, so yes, you can spend a
Oh, my God.
you can spend a conviction point for a re-roll. One conviction point allows you to re-roll any one roll of the dice you make, keeping the second result. Let's just see if you failed though, because it did you get spotted? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As it stands, oh Christ, no! As it stands, the receptionist only rolled a 6. So as you creep out, you suddenly realise there's a receptionist at the reception desk, which is looking at a keyboard, typing away. So you slide back into the darkness and flat against the wall, and you're like, "Shit! How are we going to get up there with under the receptionist's nose?"
Okay. Can I do something like to distract her on a computer, like get it to go haywire, or like do something weird?
Well, we know you've already hacked.
So,
Say that again, Louise. Sorry.
you are visitor number 307 to this website with this one weird trick. You've just won a holiday.
I'll get it to start playing porn really loudly.
That's a possibility. Also, there is another option, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to suggest you take a careful look at your surroundings.
I've got a potential idea for you. I'm going to guess in the room behind there's going to be a phone.
Yes.
Potentially ring that phone?
That's better than my suggestion, which would have been to meow from somewhere.
So I also like that suggestion a lot.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you'll be able to find that phone number from inside the system if you pass a perception code finding test.
I think maybe could we try and dart into like this room or something here?
Yeah, why not?
Can you remember what it is on the plan? This room.
Yeah, it's one of the examination rooms. You also know that there is a door on the far side of it that leads into the central room of the building. So it's actually a shortcut to where you're going, to go straight through one of these rooms.
Yeah, I am down for that.
I'm gonna whisper to them like through here.
Okay, well that door's not locked, so you can just head straight through.
Yeah.
And then we can maybe use the phone as a potential backup on the way out.
Yes, yes. Still upside down on the ceiling. Like a cat.
Fine. Stop walking my hands.
Okay, you may now.
I know.
Go on.
I know Jet is the one that did Caden's hand, and there's that little bit of Caden's arm. There's a little bit of trust there. But when you see your Ripper dog upside down, there is concern.
Okay, you can now all make a second combat movement. So that's your speed. So you can all move again if you would like to.
Okay, go first.
Right. 1, 2, 3. Gently open this door. I'm going to assume it's not locked.
It's not locked. You should be able to operate it yourself from there.
Very gently, just open it. Not making any noise. Just being like.
Okay, well, since you are opening doors and passing through dark rooms and whatnot, I'm going to ask for new stealth rolls from everybody, please. So let's start with Caden.
Oh no!
I don't generate stunt points because it's improvised, so it's 8 shit.
Fuck.
Okay.
Screw roll 20 and it's dice.
Could I have a roll for Wraith as well, please?
Right, I get a +2 to this because I've got my stealth focus.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
16.
Yep, that's 14. That's quite good. And the stealth, so that's 16.
16 because I've got +2.
So,
remember?
Jet, could we have a number for roll from you as well, please?
Oh, God.
Oh my god! Oh.
And as announced, would anybody like to spend a conviction point to re-roll?
Yes.
I'll do it.
Yes.
Okay. So that's 2 conviction points. So that's 2 more points in the complications pool. Do go ahead and re-roll.
Wait a
I
second,
completely
though.
forgot about that.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, much better.
So Jet is now on 12 and Caden's now on 18. So you're creeping around slowly. I'm going to make a roll for the nurse, and we're going to see if they can beat a 12 or not. So if I do that button, I'm getting a lot of lag. 13.
It is a bit like, oh.
Okay, so you've missed by 1, or they've beaten you by 1. So, what I'm going to say is I'm going to give you a messy success. So she looks up, she looks round, she's like, that's strange. I could have sworn. So she's now alert, so she's starting to look to see.
Can I use the phone ringing thing? If I know the layout of this place, I should know where they probably have phones or whatever the nearest one is.
Well, the nearest one will be at reception, but you're pretty sure that's not a good one to call because you'll still be looking. So what you really wanted to do is the office where you were in earlier. You know there are phones on those desks. So give me a code finding test, please. That's perception code finding. Because you're already in the system, all you need to do is find the section on their computers that control their phones. Yeah, you find that without any difficulty. She almost jumps out of her skin as the phone in the office behind rings. You see her punching some things into the computer in front of her, and it relays the phone to her position. Although you probably won't actually see that, but that's what's happening. happening. So it hasn't worked to draw her away from there because she's just on the
It's
master
distracted her,
controls, but it has distracted her, and she will quickly forget about what she thought she heard, because now she's busy with like, hello, is there somebody there? Hello, hello, I'm gonna have to hang up if you don't speak. Can you hear me? And while she's doing that, you guys can all make another movement test. Sorry, Jenny, you were saying.
No, I was just going to say now's the time to go. let's go.
Yeah,
For it.
I used 4 that last one, so 5. Oh, do I want to go right through the middle of the room?
I don't know, do you?
Do we know where these doors over here lead? Like, could we? Because remember, you can always dart into different rooms and stuff.
I mean, you can bring up
I think-
the map of the place I showed you earlier if you'd like to.
I feel like
it's
we'd
in the
have the
file.
map on. Like, I've got it on another screen actually here. Examination rooms by the looks of it here and here, and there, and then
Yeah, there's unlikely to be people in those rooms at the minute, but
Yeah.
Well, definitely not, because those things are not actually examination rooms; they are operating rooms. Well, the first one's first one's the surgical prep. The second one is the surgical room, and this one directly south of you is the X-ray room.
because we can always dart into these rooms to give us a bit of a breather and maybe create another distraction.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like hug these rooms. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if you guys want to go ahead and make some more tests. Sorry, if you guys want to go ahead and move your tokens, I should have said. Meanwhile, out in the fields, out in the car park, those of you who are operating the main distraction, the guy who's fixing the car is saying, so what are you fellas doing out here at this time of night in the middle of nowhere?
I was heading home.
Alright, okay.
He's
Puppet
just one
practice.
of my friends. We were just heading back. We were
Sorry,
going to
did you
watch some
say-
sports on the TV.
Puppet practice.
The puppet waves at him.
He kind of very self-consciously waves back.
He's getting pretty good at that, ain't he?
He's,
Huge grin.
yeah, he's getting fairly good at that. He's quite a good puppeteer
You know,
for a
that
big
thing
fella.
that thing used to creep me out. There was one time late at night I was watching some football on the TV, and I just looked to the corner of my eye, and there was just this little thing staring at me, and it scared the shit out of me. And it was his fucking puppet. First time I ever saw it, I almost threw a glass off his skull, but yeah.
Yeah, I can see that
You
quite
get used to it.
quickly when
Thanks
you're
to
not
his
expecting it. Yeah, I can certainly see why that.
What are you guys doing out here, though?
We're just hanging out, and we're just the other guy, quick thinking, says, "What? You've never seen two guys hanging out in a car in a car park together? What better place for a spotted dog than a vet's car park?"
I've definitely seen videos of like that online, but never thought I'd see it in person, to be honest. No.
Well, there you go.
It's a nice ride you got there, though. It looked. What is that? Is that like?
It's a car.
Brian, what year is it?
It's
Brian, what year is it?
it's about 2070-ish, something like that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to, because I know my cars. I'm going to say, is that it? And then I'll list. Then I'll just say what it is.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, you seem to know your cars. Right, the insertion team can move again.
Okay, for where we Where's... Hang on. Let me have a look. Where's there likely to be someone? This central area is like a desk, isn't it? Like this thing here, but it doesn't have anybody at it.
Yes,
what is
it's a series of desks. Yeah. There's also
But
the
there's no one here.
non-controlled veterinary medicines are kept there as well.
Okay. See, I can't really see anywhere around here other than that someone's likely to be stationed at.
Okay, give me a
So
perception
probably over there.
hearing test, all of you, please.
Perception hearing.
Where did my character sheet go?
16.
12.
Okay, so the 16 is a pass. You've just heard a door open somewhere to the east of you.
Right, I'll see. I'll motion to the others that I heard a door open and point where, and I'll leap into this room here.
Okay, okay.
If the door will open.
You may all make one move. By that I mean up to your speed. And then I'll restart the moving.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that sounds like an idea.
And I'll close the door quietly.
Okay. So
I'll keep
currently,
listening.
you hear another door close to the northeast of you.
Okay. To the northeast. Let's see where that might possibly be. Come from this. Are those bathrooms?
Let me just have a look. Which bathrooms?
Are they up here?
I can't see where you're pinging.
It's
Also,
just north of this area. Are these bathrooms or are there something else?
just north of your area, that would be the thingy rooms. The fuck's sake, man! What do you call them? The rooms where the vets take a look at the pets. Anyway, I've just realised.
All right, yeah. I would say probably
I'm gonna
looking
move
at the
that
actual.
character back there because the thingy seems to have broken. Medicine run seems to have gone a bit awry.
Could have been going back into the main area though as well.
Yeah, yes,
So-
probably.
Mm-hmm. I'll maybe wait a moment and then if it's still quiet, head back out.
Okay. So you wait a moment in the hopes that anybody that was moving round out there will have finished whatever it was they were doing.
I'll actually crack the door open and sort of peek out a little bit, see if I can see any movement.
Okay, give me a perception seeing test, please. Okay, 14. It's dark out there. You can see the corridor to the northeast of that area. You can see that's lit, which it wasn't earlier. So somebody has passed through there. But
Okay, I'll see. I think we can go. Just need to be quick.
okay, go for it. Make another movement.
Caden go first. He's asleep.
All right.
Although
Do you want me to count my movement from here or from when I step through the door?
From either one is fine.
Okay, let's just do it from what I'll gain the system just a little bit when I step through the door. So count that as 1, 2, 3. I assume we are going to the kennels on the right, right?
yeah.
4, 5, 6. I look 7, 8,
Where is that yet?
9.
I am imagining Sesame Street.
Okay. Okay, you can now move yourselves all the way because the person that was patrolling is not going to be able to spot you in the next couple of moves.
Okay.
So you get all the way into the kennels, so you can open that room if you like. And the minute you enter the kennels, well, I'll wait till you're actually in the kennels and I'll tell you what to see.
Right. Sorry.
I ready my pocket of treats.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to my animal handling focus.
Okay, you switch on your animal focus chip, and all this information starts to download into your brain. Oh, right, okay, I think I know what I'm doing here. As you enter, you notice 3 of the cells, if you want to call them that, have got dogs in. From left to right, you've got what seems to be a corgi, a mixed breed, and then you've also got a mastiff. Right? But as you enter, the dogs all look up. Ow, 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 ow.
Quick, give me treats! Treats, quick!
Right, okay. Unfortunately, you can't get to them because the entire front is like a glass panel with a door in the centre, which is activated by a key card. However, you are trying to keep the dogs calm using a animal handling, so you can still go, shh.
Yes, I will try that.
Good dog, sit. So you can do all that. Give me an animal handling test, please, to see if you can keep them.
What does that come up?
So animal handling is communications.
Okay, so whatever I roll, add another 2 onto it.
Okie dokie. So you need to beat an 11. Any round you fail, the dog will bark. You need to do this every
16.
round. So the first round you've managed to, all the dogs are sat there, happily watching you, waiting for you to give them another command. Okay, but every round anybody else does anything, you will need another animal handling test. If you fail it, the dogs bark. If the dogs bark 2 rounds out of 3, somebody will come and investigate. So far...
Got a...
Go on.
Okay.
Just a potential suggestion. If we can get the doors at the bottom open, can we potentially go out that way?
Yeah, but it will set the alarms off.
Ah, okay.
Also,
That's,
Barbara
Which hopefully Jenny can get rid of.
Also, Barbara did warn you earlier that the staff room window overlooks that door.
I meant the ones at the bottom.
Isn't there a... Wait, as far as...
you mean.
I'm just going to check the plans 1 sec.
Yeah, windows.
Yeah, those are windows.
Okay.
Yeah. We can. Yeah. Can we not?
I mean, you can
okay.
open the windows from inside that kennel, certainly.
That could then potentially be our escape route, and might be better on my heart than the previous route that we took. Because my heart rate is at 190 right now.
Yeah, I mean, you could try stuffing the dog out of the... bear in mind it's a mastiff, though, so it's a big dog.
The dog out the window.
Yeah.
How high is the drop? You don't want to hurt the dog.
Well, the windows are about 5 feet up the wall.
As long as one of you goes first.
Yeah,
makes
one of us goes
fun.
first.
Not me.
and then-
I mean, a dog could survive a 5-foot drop easy. It won't hurt itself, but I mean, it has just had an operation.
Your big problem's
one
going
of us
to
will be on the other side if we take that route.
Your big problem's going to be lifting a mastiff 5 foot in the air to get it through a window. Mastiff's a big dog, but it's possible. But first of all, the problem you're going to have to face is getting the dog out of the kennel.
If we open the window and throw a treat out of the window.
John plummets to his death.
Well, it's not going to die from a 5-foot fall.
I know, I'm
Hang
joking.
on, how about if you've got somebody on the outside to pass the dog to, so you're not throwing the dog out the window?
Well, I was.
First place.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up, and I'll be able to get out the car and help you because I can start up the car as a free action.
So you've
Yeah,
left the
'cause,
2 guys in the car park, right? So you thank them for
Not
help.
yet.
Right,
Not yet.
okay. Well, we'll assume you're leaving
We
soon.
can radio when we're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I'm having a cough and fit.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, and yeah, you would know because you did Caden's arm that this will help with stuff to do with strengths and stuff. So you can add that little bit of an extra what's it called? Safety net.
Huh.
Well, the first thing is to get the dog out of its cell. So.
Yeah, I need to work on opening the doors to the kennels.
Okay, so the kennel door is a key-carded door, so you are either going to need a security check to manually override it here, or you're going to need a code-finding check to try and find the section in the vet's computer system that you're already in, to find the section which will override the doors.
Okay. What does security come under? Because I've got that as one of my focus things.
Security is intelligence.
Right. My intelligence is higher than my perception, which code finding's under.
Okay.
So I'll switch, because I use a minor action to switch to security.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll try doing that.
Okay, give it a test.
You were able to just switch as many times as you want as well.
17.
Okay. So you have a blank card on you with a security strip. So as you take a look at that thing, you run it through the thing and send a signal to your card that you hope is going to override the card scanner, and certainly you hear bleep and the door pops open. However, while you're doing that, you can also be making a animal handling roll, so the dog's like arf, 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 arf. All the dogs get very excited. Arr, arr.
Someone else is gonna have to.
Could somebody give me a communication animal handling test, please?
I don't have animal handling. Can I just do a straight communication?
You can, and you still get +1 for using a treat.
Nice.
Okay, so you've managed to get the dogs settled, and they're all kind of watching you with their heads cocked on one side as you open the door and bring. I'll just unlock the door.
I also want to unlock one of these empty ones so we can get out the window.
Okay, so I'll just unlock the one straight opposite.
Oh my god, it's such a adorable taken.
Meanwhile,
is this
out
the point where you guys are gonna?
Yeah, out front,
really
you're seeing. You get a text message to say that they're ready for exfil, and they say to the guy, "Well, thanks very much for fixing the car." Whatever, you tell me what you're saying.
So yeah, once he gets it started up, I'll kind of give him a cheer, like, "Hey, thank you so much. I thought I was going to be stuck out here in the freezing cold all night. Well, better get this one home. There's a game on."
No worries, mate. You have a good night.
All right, enjoy your dogging. See you guys later.
Not fucking dogging. Like, Struth, what did you tell him we were dogging for, you great steaming pudding? As you're pulling away, you can vaguely hear the other guy going, "I just thought it sounded funny. The vets, dogging." No, I don't fucking get it. What are you telling everybody we're dogging for? This is going to wind up with dogging spot. Try explaining that to the boss. And then you pull away around the side. Give me a driving test. See if you can, because you're pulling up across the grass basically. So give me a driving test. See if you can do that without attracting their attention.
It's alright.
I can re-roll if it fails.
So you've
Hopefully it
scored
won't.
15 to try and drive without them spotting you. Let me just have a look at gang soldiers. Perception, seeing.
If they're bickering, maybe they're a little distracted as well.
Yes, I'm going to say they are distracted because of the bickering, which is the only thing that saved you there, because that penalty is therefore going to. They would have noticed you as you like drive around the corner, up the curve, boom, across the grass. They would have noticed you, but they're too busy arguing because one's like, "What did you tell the guy we were dogging for?" It's like, oh, "Well, I thought it would be funny, like dogging at a vet." Do you know what I mean? Well, it's not funny. You stop telling people stuff like that. Well, I can hardly tell them we were waiting to see if anybody tried to steal the boss's dog. And the guy's like, "Well, you could have told them, but the one thing with lunatics is who the fuck steals a dog?" He says, at the exact same time as the rest of your team are loading a stolen dog in the back of your car.
Stealing the dog around the car. Yep.
And with that, you pull away. With the dog in the back and the rest of the team have like leapt into the car. You are all now reunited. You're all back together again. With
the dog on my lap, making sure it's in its seatbelt.
Okay. The dog is huge because, like I say, it's a mastiff, so it's about the size of a people. So it's sat on your lap. You're like
in the car.
completely pinned in. There are 5 of you and a dog, so 6. Yes, because the dog's in somebody's lap, but it is cramped because mastiffs are a big dog. Nonetheless, you managed to get away from this possibly the most bizarre heist you've ever been asked to commit and hope to ever be asked to commit. You managed to get away from it miraculously without being spotted.
Yeah.
You're very muffled. Who's a good boy? Just sticking outside of the dog.
You get back to Don's office with the dog, and as he sees the dog, his face lights up. It's like, "You did it!" And I don't hear sirens, and nobody's dead according to the news. So, well done. You've actually managed to steal a dog without causing utter chaos.
Told you.
Well, you have my definite thanks. I wasn't sure you were going to be able to pull this off, but this is great. I'm going to be able to ransom his dog back to him in exchange for and then he pulls himself up short. The thing I want. Check your accounts, guys. And as you do, you check your accounts and you notice that you've all had a payment from Don. It's a fairly decent payment as well. So everybody's resources goes up by 1 for a month.
Hey.
Which means for your next mission, your resources will be 1 point higher than they are for this mission. But you leave Don's office pleased with the job you've done and pleased with the amount of money that Don's paid for you to steal a dog. You think to yourself, if we were to ever tell this story, not that we could, but if we were ever to tell this story, nobody would believe it.
No.
But anyway, thank you very much for joining me for today's Cyberpunk Gangwar adventure in the doghouse.
That was so tense.
I hope you've enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you to everybody at home for watching this maniacally odd Cyberpunk heist. We'll be back in the near future with some more Cyberpunk heists. We're not actually doing these every week. We're doing these just occasionally, episodically, as the ideas come to us. So keep an eye out for our next Cyberpunk Gangwar adventure. In the meantime, we've got plenty of other live play games going on as well. Thank you very much at home for joining us and watching the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had as much fun as I did watching these people try and steal a dog without turning it into a complete bloodbath. But it just remains for me to say thank you very much for watching the show. Do stay safe, take care. But from me, for now, good night.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I know it.